All right, so we're coming back to the review. So we're going to be reviewing Avatar: The Way of Water, Deep Dive.
Oh, thank you for saying deep dive. Yeah, so yeah, Nixon was giving me shit about that.
Oh, I know.
About that lame.
The corny. She's like, "Are you going to do that corny joke?"
It's a deep dive. Not just because it's look. We normally do reviews. Okay, we review movies. Sometimes we do spoiler reviews. But this is this is what I call a movie talk. We're going to talk about this movie, not just. Now, what did you think about it? No, we're going deep. And then I said,
that's what she said.
That's funny as hell. Because I'm hilarious. Because it's true. It's a deep... Anyway. All right, you're the host. I'm sorry.
Whatever. All right. Let's move it on to the...
Avatar: Way of Water.
Way of Water. All right, you want to start it off?
Yeah. In this spoiler... sorry. That was the original... There's the original graphic for this spoiler talk. So spoiler alert, guys. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. So if you have not seen it, don't listen.
Right. Don't listen. Come back later, and after we finish going deep.
Oh my God. That's what she said.
Be deep. I won't say it. All right, babe? You don't want me to say it? No? All right.
She's like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
You sinner. All right. Let's go. We're going to quickly run down what's really been talked about and going on with Avatar: Way of Water since its debuted, man. I was one of those guys, like I've always said, that let's not focus on part 2. Let's really focus on part 3. It's been so many years since the first one, blah, blah, blah. I was kind of in the doubting James Cameron business. I mean, it was the middle of the pandemic. It was no way this movie was going to make that much money during that. But James Cameron was like, look, get that pandemic. I'm going to hold this movie until after the pandemic. And
he did.
Hey, he did. And let's starting off with the first talking point, the box office.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, let me see if I can get that on screen. Okay. Yes.
Chris's predictions are going down.
Yeah. After hitting 1 billion worldwide box office marked on Tuesday, that was the last Tuesday, and with continued the strength in the midweek play, James Cameron's Avatar: The Way of Water has grossed just now, as of today, 1.5 billion globally. Doing so in just 15 days, it hit 1.1 billion. This 20th Century Studio / Disney sequel currently ranks as the number 2 release of 2022, and I think it just now became number 1.
Did it?
Yeah, and number 3 during the pandemic. This was because we were supposed to do this last week, so this is old information. Domestically, as Anthony reported, its 20 million Wednesday is the top grossing Wednesday of the year. That came from Deadline. Okay, I was like, who the heck is Anthony? So, I was wrong. Okay, I was talking about
very wrong, actually.
Actually, I'm still within the zone. I said this movie wasn't going to make more than 1.5 billion. Then, as it got closer to the release, I amended it to 1.6. I was like between 1.1 to 1.6. It's gonna probably now be between 1.8 to 2 billion.
I was about to say I think it's gonna hit 2.
It's definitely going past
if it hits
1.
2 billion, it's in the conversation of greatest franchise of all time. Marvel movies, on average, if you average out the numbers, it's like 1 billion per movie.
Yeah.
There's only been 2 Avatar movies, and if they both hit over 2 billion per movie, come on, that's crazy. That's crazy. What do you think about this whole box office? Bullshit.
I think it's gonna hit the 2 billion. I don't. What? I do. I really do.
You don't think I'm gonna be right?
I do not think I never think you're right.
Damn it! Thought we were friends, man.
I mean, I felt like that. We're friends and all, but I don't think you're right.
I don't think we're friends, but I don't like you that much. What about you, man? What do you think? Is it gonna hit the 2 billion? What's the box office gonna look like by the time this is?
I mean,
done?
We still got a ways to go, so yeah, it's probably gonna.
You don't think Disney Plus is gonna be like, let's move it on Disney Plus?
Oh, they want their money.
Oh yeah. They want to make it from this one.
No, more than that, they don't want to anger the great and powerful Oz. Oh, that's what's really going on. All right, that's the box office. Let us know. Yeah, and guys, keep talking about it in the comment section. We might have some time to go into it. Moving on to the next thing on the list was story. Yeah. Story-wise. So Jake Sully and Nate Terry, am I saying that right, has formed a family and are doing everything to stay. Spoiler alerts, guys! Everything to stay together. However, they must leave their home and explore the region of Pandora. When an ancient threat resurfaces, Jake must fight a difficult war against the humans. Ancient Thread. This is spoiler talk. So, guys, Ancient Thread is the bad guy from part 1 is back again.
Yeah.
Cloned his ass and
Not cloned. They didn't clone.
Created
His consciousness was in the USB.
Yeah.
They plugged him to. They plugged him in.
Yeah.
He got uploaded to a new,
a
faster,
new Na'vi
stronger,
body.
younger body.
Younger body. I love that moment in the movie where was like, upon my death, if you're seeing this, and that, but I don't plan on dying, and then the new guy, the new seller looked like rolled his eyes like, yeah, cannot believe that is me. I am that arrogant. Well, you got to be confident, right? I mean, so I just thought that was one of the funniest parts of the movie. I don't plan on dying. Bitch, you dead. You back now.
That's why you're listening to this.
And I can't wait till we get down further down the list. I have, but overall, I'll just stick with the story. The story, I felt like the overall story. I'm still on the fence on whether or not I feel like it was better than the first one. It was they had a lot more going on. It was way more complex. The family dynamic made it more special to me. So I did say before that I think this was better than the first one. Story overall, compared from anything about the story that.
I mean, I liked how they kind of took the other tribes and brought those into the storyline, and how their tribes almost had their own culture and their own preferences for what, like them not having a thick tail because, they don't swim and things like that. And kind of hit on that sort of concept within their own sort of culture, that they have these, what's the word I'm looking for? Characteristics within the culture, but that's not the word I'm looking for, but that works.
Traits or
like almost like their own racism battles within their cultures.
There are different tribes who are like different races. The water tribe being a little bit lighter.
Yeah, and so,
oh my God, my friend Sean, who loves James Cameron movies, he was like, what if they what if there's a moment where in part 3? Oh no, I'll get to that. Remind me to tell you that joke. We'll get to that later. We'll finish off.
But yeah, I liked the concept of kind of getting to explore the other cultures and see the sort of different dynamics, and then I also found like how it was interesting that they still had Jake kind of reverting back to his humanity mentality of protect your family no matter what. Like he was just so desperate to kind of like hide them, save them, move them, away from the problem. And it was just an interesting concept in sort of the makeup of how they show the avatars, sort of like when you become an avatar, you're trying to get into their culture and their characteristics and kind of learn their ways. And then he's still a little bit stuck in that humanity aspect, but still trying to live within their culture and understand this. And I just thought it made it very complex, which I liked, created a very dynamic background and future for the character, which I really liked. And so I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. What about you, Bet? The story.
Seeing as how I wasn't a super fan of the first one, the second one's definitely, I enjoyed it much more. I liked the story.
In Joy's words, she got wet.
That's right.
Yeah. As we continue on with the deep dive, moving on real quick because we're already past time. The runtime of the movie Avatar: The Way of Water.
It was long.
That was a lot.
That's an understatement, right? Avatar: The Way of Water is officially one of the longest films ever, with enormous runtime. Recent 3-hour movies include The Wolf of Wall Street at 3 hours, Avengers Endgame 3 hours 1 minute, The Irishman 3 hours 29 minutes, The Godfather Part 2 3 hours 22 minutes, Lawrence of Arabia 3 hours and 38 minutes. Wow, that's Avatar: The Way of Water, will be the second longest film of Cameron's career, with Titanic reaching a 3 hour 14 minute runtime. Go ahead.
I just have how do you think this affects the cinemas? Like, they can't run as many viewings of the movie. They can't get as many tickets per seat because there are less viewings, because now we have all these longer movies that are happening instead of maybe breaking it up and creating an additional movie. Like, how is that going to continue to, if we keep running these really, really long movies, how's it going to affect? We're going to start having to have intermissions.
I mean, he's just known for that. I don't foresee like everybody wanting to do that. Because most people don't like it.
There are a lot of people that don't.
That was one of my cons, was the runtime.
And that's why when I did the math, I mean, because James Cameron is known for making these really long movies, especially after the pandemic. And the pandemic kind of rewrote the way we were kind of wanting to see things and stream things, and we were getting used to watching them at home. I thought all of that was going to play a part into it, but of course, because James Cameron is James Cameron and Disney ain't gonna tell James Cameron what to do. James Cameron was like, well, we're gonna wait until a good number of movie theaters open back up, and then we'll put it. So it was something that I thought was going to be one of the contributing factors of why this movie was probably not going to make $1 billion because of the damn runtime.
But you're wrong.
But I was wrong because you don't doubt James Cameron, and then he was smart enough to go then hold it off for another 2 damn years. I don't care. Because I'm not cutting my 9-hour cut is going to only go as low as 3 hours, and I'm not going to cut a minute more. So, and he was right. He was right. But you're right too, Tab. That also plays a factor in it. The longer your movie is, the less times it can be shown per day. Correct. Which means that even if everybody in the world wanted to get in and watch the movie, they can't all. Two people can't sit in one seat. So,
which is probably why it's going to.
Stay in the theaters longer.
Yeah, it's going to keep. That's why. Disney's going to reach that too, because we get time.
Yeah, Disney's going to be like, whatever you say, Mr. Cameron. You tell, like on football, they're asking the refs, what call you want us to make? When talking to the head coach.
But from a business mind, because this is how my brain works. Yes, they're going to run that movie longer, but again, now you've got a over 3 hour movie running longer in a theater screen that's taking up the option for any new. I heard that for any new films that Disney may need to come out to make money. Now they got to either pause that or just put it in a different screen because we can't put it in the same screen. And they usually have Avatar not only on an XD, but a 3D XD, then a digital. Oh, yeah. And, there's all these different ways that you can view it. So I'm sitting here going, well, how much are we going to put how much of our eggs are we going to put in this basket, and for how long, when we have all these other baskets that we've got to figure out financially?
James Cameron gets what James Cameron
I know, and that's the part that I'm like, ugh. So yeah. Anyways, my brain's like numbers. I'm just thinking numbers. Yeah, it's rolling around in there.
I had a website for it, but I don't have it. But you kind of talked about it a little bit. The 3D effect. I don't have time to pull up the website, but yeah, the 3D effect. That's another thing that's contributing to the higher box office. The 3D tickets cost more.
Well, yes and no. Like I went and saw the 3D XD super special seats with the speakers in them.
How many people were there?
Like 2 other couples. I went by myself, and it was on the big screen.
Was it in the middle of the week?
It's a matinee in the middle of the week.
During the break?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I was shocked.
So maybe that many people aren't watching it in 3D.
And then I'm sitting here going, okay.
That's a good question. How many of y'all saw it in 3D? That's a good question.
I mean, I know that it looks spectacular, but I don't really feel like it was necessary.
Yeah. I mean, I did it only because I kind of wanted to make sure I was actually nervous. I saw it in 3D, but I was like, I usually don't see the movies in 3D because it makes me nauseous. Yeah. But because of this type of movie and with the effects that this movie had, I was like, all right, this is one of those ones I'm going to power through and see if I can make it happen. And I actually was weirdly okay with this movie. And I don't know why I didn't get sick with this one, but I was very shocked that it was me and 3 other couples in there. And this was the ginormous theater.
Yeah.
Huge. So many empty seats.
The 3D factor this time, I think the 3D was done better in the first movie. It was on the first movie, it was more subtle. It was the only time I noticed the 3D was the very beginning of the first movie when a drop of water, like condensation, went down and it was like it was all in my eyeball and stuff like that. I noticed it throughout the rest of the movie too, but it was woven in so subtly. One of the criticisms I have about the second one is it was almost like that old movie Jaws 3D, where it was done on purpose in your face, like I'm fighting the shark, so I'm poking the camera, like that. They did that too many times.
Completely disagree.
I noticed too many times, like the bow and arrow purposely going into your. They didn't do that much on the first one. They did it a lot in the second one.
I was so weird that you say that, because I literally thought it was subtle. Like, I'm sitting there like knowing going into this 3D, and I was like, it doesn't even feel like I was 3D. They didn't hold it as long in the first one as they did in the second one. Yeah. They held it, which made it unsubtle for me. I felt like for you. Yeah. Okay. For me, whatever. I knew it was coming. I thought it actually felt like I was just standing in the scene.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't feel like it was like
after a while it blended.
Yeah.
And it settled
I didn't feel like it was cartoony. You know, like you get on some of the rock 3D rides.
I didn't have issues with the nausea. It was at the end of the fighting.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that all of that being 3D
and around you,
crazy.
Yeah.
That was what was too much for me.
Okay.
Next thing,
but the other part was fine, like in the water,
like when they were doing all the splashing, and
that
then,
was fine.
Yeah.
Let me skip the next one and go to we already
talked about runtime.
Why did Avatar 2 take the long wait, the long awaited release date? Why did it take so long for Avatar 2?
Because it's James Cameron.
Took 13 years after to make. James Cameron needed to perfect the underwater CGI. Plainly, the major reason behind the 13-year wait for the Avatar sequel is their long pre-production state, a result of Cameron's communication to the special effects and the set Avatar apart from the first, the other films of its time to begin with. That was from Scream Rant. He just wanted to perfect. He wanted to.
It's basically the Tom Cruise effect.
Yeah,
he waited so long because there were things he wanted to be able to do that couldn't be done.
That didn't exist.
Yeah. So he wanted it to be exactly as
which was one of the things that I thought was going to hurt the box office of this movie. Like I said, more Avatar fans have died than are being born. But the second that damn trailer came out, it activated something. Like the awe and wonder came back.
Yeah.
I don't expect a lot of Na'vi cosplay.
Well, we'll find out, actually. I wonder if it's going to come back, because, here in March is Kamapalooza. So
we haven't got our invite yet. I'm going to talk to them.
I got to get tickets for the kids, because Lorelai's going to want to go again.
Just tell me how many. We'll get it. We'll see what we can get. Yeah, Kamapalooza. You want us back? You got to pay to play. The next thing was what's next? Critics.
The critics and reviews.
Critics and reviews. As of this show, Avatar: Way of Water, as of last week, it was at 78% score and a 92% on. Guys, if anybody can look that up, is it still at a 78% on Rotten Tomato critic and 92% audience score?
What do you think that says, though? By the way, that sentence alone.
What?
78% critic score and a 92% audience score. Why do we give critics so much importance?
I mean,
I had said that before.
Nobody.
I'm like, there's a lot of times that I read what the critics say, and they'll, bash something that I'm like,
I love.
But the fans are.
But just because there's going to be a conversation that you're going to have with. Of course, Chris is going to be the one that's going to defend the critic. I mean, it's just like in any profession. But you're going to have a conversation where there's something that you love that other people hate that aren't necessarily a critic or anything like that. But it's just like in the medical field. If I was to start, I could have an opinion about something medically, but you're trained.
No, but
you're
it's like
trained.
Sometimes I feel like it's. I've told this story to him many times as something from a long time ago. The Power Rangers movie. That I took my son to watch, a little kid. This is for children. Yes. And then Roger and Ebert who's popular. Siskel and Ebert were reviewing it. We're like, this movie is trash. Oh, it's not for
adults.
It's for children.
Yeah.
Why are we? Yeah. Why are we reviewing this movie and going? Well, it doesn't have a good plot, and because it's for small people.
There's a reason.
My kid loved it. He thought it was the best thing on the planet. So that's who counts.
And look at the franchise that came out of it. Look at the money they've made because of it. That's why I don't understand why people rely on these critics to give these opinions to direct whether a movie's going to be successful or not.
Audience score. It's not like they're 100% relying. If they were 100% relied on it, you wouldn't even know about the audience
and
score.
It's 77 critics, 92 still audience.
92 still audience. They put the importance on both. But just it's become the cool thing, just like Nickelback, to hate on something because it's become the cool thing to hate on.
Nickelback is horrible. That's why
there are a lot of there are probably 92% of people that think that they're awesome.
No, there are maybe an 8% of people that think they're. I know one of them.
But again, all this stuff is is objective. And it becomes the cool thing to bash on critics like it is to bash on Nickelback. I know she did. Let's talk about Nickelback for a second. That song that she sung, I have never watched that video, but in my mind, he has a woman tied to a chair and is yelling at her.
Can't stand this.
Like that's what. So I even make fun of Nickelback, but that's the only example. That's the best example I can come up with this. It's become. But these people they've done the work. They've gone to the schools, and not a lot of them don't have degrees. I could become. I'm on a path to probably becoming a Rotten Tomatoes official critic, only because a lot of them are because they have a certain number of followers or they do a certain amount of reviews, and Rotten Tomatoes goes, okay, you've done a certain amount of work. I'm going to call you a critic.
You know what we say about your opinion, right?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not. Well, let me burst a bubble real quick. I'm not just going for a solo critic status for Rotten Tomatoes. I'm trying to get the platform that status, which means everybody who is here would then become.
I don't want to be a critic.
You don't have to do it. You would get anytime you post a review, it would say a Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm just one of those weird people, and I know that
you're a fight the power type of a person.
I don't.
But that doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing.
I don't like other people's opinions dictating what I like and don't like. I have to see it for myself.
Well, then why should I listen to you?
I don't want you to listen to me. This is just an opinion.
Exactly. That's my point.
They don't
just
consider a critic.
Critics do not consider themselves that they're floating above us regular people.
They do.
But there is a reason why certain people at the Academy are chosen to pick the best directors. The best director people are other directors.
And I think that should be. Peers should be the ones who peers should be the ones who actually dictate awards and like official things. Absolutely.
If we can agree on that, then I'll accept everything else that you're saying.
Absolutely on that. Okay. Absolutely. But whether a movie is good or bad, or if it's enjoyable, but if it's enjoyable or not, really should be dictated by the crowd. I know. No, you did. It should be dictated by the masses at that point.
Look at his photograph. Look at his avatar. Oh man,
you're a mess.
I tell you. Like I've been probably in the live chat, and Nixon let us know if she got Nixon. Don't forget to highlight the comments that people probably in there going, "Oh, I'll give Chris $5 super chat if he'll never do that high pitched squid again." But let's move on to the next one because my dreams of making this a 30-minute show
did not happen.
Long gone. What's the next one after critics?
Avatar 3 and
the future of the franchise.
Yeah.
So Avatar: The Way of Water. What can we expect in Avatar 3? Spider Jack Champion was left behind on Pandora after spoiler alert, guys. After the RDA were defending the first Avatar film. Being a baby and unable to enter cryostasis, so he was raised by Jake in the Na'vi culture. Early in The Way of Water, what does it say? Quaritch saves Spider. That's the boy that you're seeing on screen. He's the son of the main villain. Yes. Quaritch saves Spider. Oh no, the father saves the son's life when Neytiri hands a knife to his throat, and afterwards spending most of the movie with his son due to kidnapping him. During the climactic third act, Jake defends Quaritch and leaves him unconscious underwater. When it seems like the villain has met the end again, Spider saves him. Despite everything Quaritch has done, and wants to do. Spider saw him as worth saving, which means he might be redeemable in the same way Luke Skywalker knew Darth Vader could be saved. And watching the movie, that's exactly what I felt. I feel like by the third or the fourth, that our main villain will eventually see the light, because he is now in one of those avatar bodies. He's linking up with the planet. I feel like the planet is going to eventually win him over. Like he's going to have a moment where he's like, what have I done? Or maybe he'll turn good and his son will turn bad. I feel like,
I mean, that's a legit possibility with the way it's going. I just don't want him to be good. I think it's inevitable. I just really enjoyed hating him. He's such a good bad guy.
He'll still be a dick.
He's such a good bad guy.
But I feel like the more he connects with the planet, the more the planet is going to fill him with love.
You get a whole new bad guy, so then he's the anti-hero.
Yeah, he'll be the anti-hero.
Yeah, but I love an anti-hero. That I don't want him to be the anti-hero because I love rooting.
He's gonna be like, fuck you, Miss Fuck Panda. Yes. I'm just gonna do my own thing. Yeah. Water try.
Like I'm a solid V for Vendetta all the way, but
I feel like he's going to have some kind of a turn. Maybe not full hero, maybe anti-hero, but or maybe just one moment where, like he did in this movie, where he saved his son. Maybe he'll have another moment like
selfish.
But I think his son is going to turn bad. I think his son is going to join the Marines and join because he's already starting to see it.
Yeah, but he disagrees with the way that they do everything. You could see that.
Then why didn't you let? Because that guy technically isn't your father. He's technically your brother. He's a spawn of.
It's just because he's had such a hard time.
He's got daddy issues.
Right.
I'm the only human here, and these people identify with me.
And I think that it wasn't really a matter of him thinking, man, this guy's probably good, or I need to. It was that it's that clinging for hope. I didn't have a dad raise me, and I know he's not technically my dad, but still, he's my dad. You know, it's
he's got answers for you that Jake Sully and his family don't. I mean, you now know where you kind of came from, dude, and that's something.
Then you got to look at the love interest. Between
Nixon, you knew it wasn't going to happen.
Like between him and the daughter that's not the daughter.
What's her name?
I just lost her name.
I forgot her name too. What's her name? Who's playing? She played. She was in part 1, and now she's playing her own daughter.
She's playing her daughter. I forget her name
from Ghostbusters. Yeah, what's her name? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anywho, there's an obvious love interest between them too.
And I want to see a human in a Na'vi bone, man. No. I want to see it. I want to see how that's going to work. My Jake. I want to see it. I want to see how the mechanics will work.
No. I got
this isn't OnlyFans.
Yeah.
There are probably some movies out there like that, but hey, maybe in Avatar 3. Let us know what you guys think. The next one.
Her name's Kiri.
Moving on to the next one. When Avatar: The Way of Water will be on Disney Plus. Since Avatar: The Way of Water is a 20th Century Fox Studio release, things can be a little more complicated for a U.S. release due to a previous contract with HBO. So it might go to HBO Max. You guys can read that. I'm not going to read. See, all these topics made more sense when the movie first came out. Now that we've had some time, now that we see that it's making like $1 trillion in the box, it ain't going to no Disney Plus anytime soon. No. They're going to keep it in theaters for as long as they can.
What do you think is the longest time frame that they would keep
I think they're going to go old school with this. I think like before we started moving things to video on demand, I think we're going to go back to the days when it was like VHS. I think it's going to have as long as a running theater as the first one did.
But do they still have dollar movies anywhere? Remember that?
They died out. A lot of them
a dollar movie.
A lot of them died out. But
there was one next to the Cinemarket, but I think they turned it into a fancy
because there used to be one right here by
it's probably an adult store now.
And it's an alcohol serving
same
Cinemark.
Just go behind that curtain, you'll see some stuff.
No, but what is the actual time frame of an old school movie release?
Back in the day, it was like 6 months.
So, okay,
it always depended on how successful the movie is. Because if the movie, because the contract that studios have with the movie theaters is that if it's not filling up a certain amount of seats, they got to make space for another movie that is.
Correct.
So if it's filling up the seats, and James Cameron demands it. It could stay in there, but like I was saying, I think it's going to be like the way the old school time frame was. Since the pandemic, they shortened the time frame to like 90 days or less.
Okay.
To go.
Yeah. I remember that was
they made that declaration a couple of years ago. But now that things have kind of
maybe they'll have
softened,
it longer. I do think this is going to be a movie that people see more than once in the theater. Like my oldest daughter got mad because I went by myself. She's like, why didn't you tell me? I would have gone with you again. I was like, well, I had to see it at a certain time and you weren't here.
You were taking a nap. See?
Yeah. So like I do think that people will
she was
continue
like, I'm
to
the
go.
critic. You're just a regular audience member.
She thinks knows everything. What?
No, I'm talking about you. You're the one that has the show.
I'm not a critic.
You're the one on the show.
You were yelling at me.
You're a film pundit.
You were yelling at me. I had to go see the movie.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait anymore.
Yeah.
God.
And now you're welcome.
Oh my Lord.
All right. What's the last? This is something I really want to discuss, guys.
Okay.
Pay attention to this because there's something that I did while watching this movie. While I'm eating my.
I didn't think that they. Okay.
The sexualization. Could you read it for me? I'm eating the
sexualization of the Na'vi. Sexualization of the female Na'vi then would seem to draw on the hypersexualization of the Pacific Islanders for The Way of Water, and of Native Americans for the first film. Think of Paul. How do you say his name?
Gargan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Think of sex trips by Americans to the Philippines. Think of the term LBFM. In this case, B doesn't stand for brown.
That comes from Age of Geeks. That was an article of sexualization.
I saw teenagers coming
That's
of
what
age.
I saw teenager hormones.
Yes.
Okay, can I make a confession without being judged?
You're gonna say
well, you're a dude, so
yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna judge you.
So in certain scenes, like this scene here, and Zoe Saldana's character and stuff, there were times where I was like trying to tilt my head. I was like, is that thing gonna move? Because
oh my God.
Am I gonna see a
okay?
Even I was like, am I gonna see a scene here?
Okay, but as someone,
it was getting very wet, man.
Because of a female who likes females, and don't get me wrong, boobies are life. So
you don't want to see blue boobies?
It's not even that. I didn't see it as a sexualization. No. I literally saw it as teens coming of age, like you said, hormones rampant, and I giggled because I was like, "This is so cheesy." He's like, it was like the scene coming out of the water, and he's like, "Oh my God!" And
well, that's the point that he's making. Was he over sexualizing?
No, that's not sexualization.
Young characters dripping wet and water splashing all over.
That is what
teen boys.
That is what teen boys, and that's what
but that's the point.
Females.
James Cameron is not a teen boy. This is a grown man and going, I want to write this into the movie.
But he's writing about teens. Just like any other teens in any other movie. What about the movie where the one chick comes out of the pool and I can't think of her name?
Yeah, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Fast Times. Yeah,
that is like same. But that is legitimately. I remember being at the pool and watching the other ladies going, "Hot damn!"
So you didn't take this as a moment or a coming of age kind of.
I saw it as a coming of age moment.
But can you see how some of these other people are?
No,
and it's not necessarily guys.
Because we were watching this as the. As Sully and the mom going, damn. We were watching this as the teenagers
because that's the point of view you were looking at.
Yeah, I'm guessing that from this article, what they were probably trying to say is that does that mean that there was I'm not sure what they were trying to say. Are they saying that James Cameron was over sexualizing these characters when it wasn't necessary?
The individuals are.
That based on what we saw on screen, that because immature people could over sexualize that James Cameron should have known better and not done it at all.
No, absolutely not. I'm sorry, but if you can't control your brain and your thoughts and your emotions, guess whose fault that is? Nobody else's but yours.
Whatever happened to being born this way? What about the compassion?
Gay. If I can look at this and recognize it for the innocence that it is, then anyone else can. This was set up beautifully.
Are you kink shaming?
No, I am actually all about
just
kink.
Because I asked Joy to paint herself blue yesterday?
I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. My point is the people who are having a problem with this, the problem is with them, not the movie.
Right.
Because there was no over-sexualization of this. That is somebody else over-sexualizing.
That was that pervert in the back row with his trench coat on.
And that wasn't the predominant feature of the film.
No.
It wasn't, let's see how they hurt each other.
I tilted my head. What? I did. At one point, I was tilted. I thought you were going to know that. Well, get your head off me, Chris. I'm trying to see that thing move. I did it at least once or twice.
And I love me some boobies, y'all. Boobies are life.
Yeah, we've read your biography.
Boobies are life. I love me some boobies. I legitimately never looked at this movie in that way. I really thought
you were immersed in the story.
I was. I giggled because this teenager was like having his own gay panic over.
You were experiencing the deep dive of wow.
God.
Deep dive.
Oh my God.
Deep dive.
He just wants that phrase too.
I want every time we do an open talk like this, call it a deep dive.
Going to make it.
Yes, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Guys, that's the end of this episode. Remember to like this video, become a subscriber, and share. This really does help us out. And click here or here. Thanks for watching.